Oh yes, back in the days of jute-backed carpets that could shrink. Lots of sculptured carpets. And we had the easy-to-pill polyester carpets. Nasty. The old tip-bloomed nylon carpets. Not good. Polyester shag carpets. Yep, even four-trail polyester carpets that would make everything stick off of your pad. Back in the day before steam cleaning, when rotary shampoo was king. You could use most anything. Just have a rotary with a tank on it, and you had it made. You had everything you needed. Up until the late 90s or so, most low moisture methods were considered low moisture. And then in 1999, we changed it to very low moisture in a discussion on the bulletin boards. But basically, it was coined by an old man, Ellard Gann, from San Jose. Very dear friend of mine. In fact, I was at his place when he died. But anyway, he had coined that phrase back in 1991. He had done low moisture and been a truck mounter for 20, 30 years. And once he got the old blue oscillator, well, he changed the way he saw things. And so he coined the phrase VLM to make, basically to show the change from what was thought of low moisture into something that was different, something that was quite a bit better. So anyway, at that time, like I say, it changed to very low moisture, and it was an exciting time in the 90s. Things were really moving ahead. Cleaners were learning to excel in their cleaning. We had debates that were, they were fiery, but what we learned from each other was incredible. On the boards, it'd be hot water guys who build hot water machines. I remember Dwayne Oxley and some others get very, very in-depth in the discussions. In fact, I just read over one of the old things from back in the 90s, one of the old threads from I guess it was the CleanFax board back then. Anyway, the threads would go on and on and on. I mean, each post was a page or two worth. But it was all done with respect. It was all done trying to find what was best. People explained what they truly thought. They gave their opinions freely. But at the same time, it was done with integrity, with respect, and basically we all ended up being very good friends as we helped each other. I would talk to the guys about my method. They would talk to me about theirs. We would discuss the pros and cons, and it would go on for hours and days, but we really helped learn from each other. So those are really good times, something I really look back on and enjoy. Now, I will tell you that now there's a new generation on the boards, and there's a lot of slamming, name-calling, lying, deceitfulness, saying anything to make a buck. And standards have actually lowered back to the 1970s, with the exception, of course, that we have better products. Back then, anybody with a 175 was a VLM Pro. Really sad. So many are being taught that they're doing great work, yet when I see pictures of before and after on some of these boards, I'll ask the question, well, did you really leave the job with the carpet looking like that? And you know how that goes. My wife says I have a lot more attack than I have tact when it comes to talking. I really am not trying to be a smartass with these guys. I'm really asking a question as to, is that professional? The spots are still showing. Stains are still showing. I don't care how you rake or vacuum a carpet, which, again, many of the guys don't even vacuum the carpets after they're done. It's really kind of shameful. When we'd come from the 90s and we're moving so much forward, it was kind of disheartening to see what's been happening here lately. Via or low moisture back in the 90s was pretty much dying out. Not as a method. I mean, commercially in janitorial and building maintenance, it's always been used to very extensively. However, amongst carpet cleaners, professional carpet cleaners, it was pretty much dying out. And So we came out with the OP and started discussing that, and we really started moving forward. We're really getting a foothold in the industry. It was coming along fine. Guys were wanting to learn, helping each other. We started the Summer Fest where we'd all get together. We'd have 50, 60 cleaners from all different states, heck, different countries. We even had people come in from Australia and what have you. Very dear people. And we all not only spent time together, but we spent time together talking about our businesses, which in my personal opinion was much better than the classes that many people have today. The classes that are held often, they'll show you particular this and that, but you miss out on so much because there's no time left for guys just talking shop. There's more to be learned there probably than anywhere. So anyway, things have kind of gone downhill. A lot of the advice given, I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of it's just plain wrong. Much of it's said to sell a product and to, they say any old machine can be a wonder cleaner. Well, professionalism seems to be left out. Common sense, heck, that seems to be left out. Hyperbole and BS seems to be the rule of the day. And we see that as a problem. And we want to work at getting back to where guys are improving their method, making it better and better. So, to continue, we here at Trinity, we started back when 1973, Dad and I started. We started with the 175s. And we ended up going to the oscillator, blue oscillator. We quit using the rotaries. The rotaries were at the time faster than the oscillator were. However, the results from the oscillator were considerably better, a lot better than anybody ever thought. So we kept going with that, and we used that. In fact, I have one old machine that I hung on to for 29 years. Raised my family and everything with. Did a great job, but it was awfully slow. I envy you guys today because with the speed of the machines now, I could have retired years ago. But anyway, we got rid of them not because, we wanted a better product for the customers, what we thought they should have. And then we even tried building a Super Duty CRB. But we decided against it because the results did not prove to be what we thought we should be giving to our customers. So we built Old Blue for decades. Then the Conqueror series came out, a little bit larger oscillation. It did a better job. Everybody laughed it off. They lost off the larger orbit. But within a couple of years, all the competitors were using the same same orbits in order to compete. But at least things were moving forward. Then came the Trinities. A huge step up in OP or VLM cleaning. Again, like before, our competitors laughed it off. However, if you notice, the same thing's happening again. Mighty took our patent to court, and they lost unanimously with the 3 judges. Now, Mighty's infringing on our patent. That's just the way it is. So we innovate and try to, and others try to copy and steal that innovation for something they say makes no difference in cleaning. I kind of chuckle as my attorneys have advised me to wait a few years and collect my retirement from Mighty. And that's exactly what we're doing. It's like I say, he took it to court, he lost, couldn't stand it, started infringing on it. Fortunately, I don't need to say anything for several years to him. My attorney said the more machines he sells, the better off you are, because it's done based on machines. So, but that's just a little side note. Our goal here is to always sell a system, not a machine. Many follow the guidelines of what we tell them to do, and we have no problems. However, some don't follow the guidelines, and then we get a call, well, I did this job that looked just like one of your pictures, and it didn't turn out as good. And so, well, what did you use? Well, they have this list of, well, we used your machine, but we used blah, blah, blah. And we said, well, we'll tell you right now, you'll get the same results as we do, but you got to use the same thing. You can use whatever you want. We obviously don't put restriction on people, well, this is what you have to use with our machine. But we do tell you, if you want the results we get, use what we use. There's a purpose why we have these together. The pads, the product, the machine, those three go together. And when you use them together, you'll get the same results that we have. Although, while quality end cap products, they've helped tremendously in our industry. They have changed everything. The quality of the type pads we're using, the end cap product actually doing its job now has really helped the industry. It's helped VLM. It's helped turn VLM around. However, a lot of people forget that, the oscillation, the amount of oscillation, the distance of oscillation, the amount of tamping, that mechanical aspect of it, that still is what is needed to make end cap products work like they're supposed to. It's kind of funny. Hot water guys always say to me, that thing can't work, and I ask them, well, when you get a really bad spot, what do? Well, I get my towel out and my cleaner out, my towel, and I tamp the spots and everything else. I said, well, good grief, guys, we're doing that to the whole carpet. That's why it's not difficult. And eventually they get it. But anyway, that oscillation and tamping is required to strip the fibers properly. I know people don't like the phrase stripping fibers, but I mean stripping it of soils and foreign matter. We consistently can get in the range of 30, a score of 30 on the ATP test from NASA. And I'll tell you, if you're using a rotary, and you'll never see this on the boards, do your ATP testing and post it. It's very embarrassing. In fact, I'll tell you, we've done a lot of testing with hot water extractors, and the best one we got, and I know everybody hates it, I use the word vortex because that's what the guy was using. The best we've ever gotten with a vortex is 207. And yet we get a rating of 30, which is NASA says is clean enough to eat off of. And somehow in the middle of all that, we still end up being the diaper cleaner. So anyway, that's it. That is what it is. That's the nature of this business. So we at Trinity will continue to innovate and find ways for cleaners to do higher quality work with less effort and to do it quicker. That's always been our goal. TRS is producing the Monday night classes. Again, this is here for VLM cleaners to learn and excel, not to sell products. The original showing is free, and all who want to attend the shows when the shows are finished, they'll be archived in the TRS Education Videos account, where VIP support plan members can have continued access with all their other benefits. And this way you can study and learn at your leisure instead of having to be online at 9 p.m. every Monday night. 9 p.m. Eastern, excuse me.